Mr. Speaker, 3 minutes is so short to persuade members of this House to reject this bill. But this bill should be rejected. First, on principle, we know that the way to move legislation which affect many or myriads of acts of parliament is through statute law miscellaneous amendment. This bill calls itself an act of parliament, but in itself it's a statute miscellaneous law amendment. But that is technical. Very few people will follow me. But let me tell you, lawyers in this house, accountants in this house, professionals in this house to suffer. Because this bill is allowing some third parties to encroach on the fidelity of advocate-client relationships, on the fiduciary relationship amongst the accountants. And it is not just the accountants and the lawyers. All of you must be having some lawyer somewhere. All of you must be taking confidence in lawyers. This bill, if passed, will allow people to intrude in your accounts and will allow people to know what you are discussing with your lawyer. It is so short a time to explain myself, but members, I can tell you, the speed by which this bill is going, you can know that there is more that meets the eye. Those other foreign institutions, whatever you want in Kenya, please don't do it through this house. And we know, we have information that the foreign powers are using this house to bring their own agenda. If in America there is no terrorism, there is no comparative act. In UK I checked, there is no comparative act. But you are being forced today to pass a legislation called itself terrorism for you to open yourself with your lawyers and with your professionals so that you open yourself to the world. Please, please, members, it is time for the mover to reply. But in this short period of time, I urge you to look at this bill keenly, vote wisely, because if you don't do it, you are, in essence, playing to the gallery from the West. I thank you, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Speaker, I hear some of the reservations being expressed. And if the Honorable T.J. Kajwang was here on Thursday, and indeed a few other lawyers that I see in the House, like the Honorable Kaluma, who was begging for 1 minute to reply, and the upcoming lawyer in Honorable Opio Wandai. Indeed, the concerns that you are raising, the concern that the T.J. Kajwang has raised, I indicated on Thursday, and the mover of the bill indicated on Thursday, that when, and I'm happy that the Honorable T.J., the Honorable Kaluma, the Honorable Opio Wandai were with me in this House in the last Parliament, when we vehemently opposed some of the provisions that were there in the Pokamla Act, or the Proceeds of Crime and Anti-money-laundering bill, which eventually became an Act of Parliament. And lawyers through LSK went to court over some of those provisions. And indeed, when this bill was published, LSK, and the same was mentioned this morning in the House Business Committee, did engage with the Attorney General, and they have indeed signed an out-of-court settlement and agreed to the current provisions of this bill as it is, because all the issues they had raised in terms of what lawyers are able to disclose to the reporting authorities, and not just lawyers, even accountants like myself and many other professionals who have information that is not public information between a client and their lawyer, or a client and their accountant. All those issues have been taken care of in this bill, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable